On the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. Anyway, we've got a situation that's happening where everything's being brought to the surface. People are seeing reality for what it is, frankly. And the heat's kind of a funny thing, too, because we've got a heat wave going on out in the East Coast right now, in D.C. specifically. 107 degrees, Trump says. I think we've got some footage of that. But they're dragging their feet. They're trying to slow things down. They've been doing that the entire presidency. We've been bitching, we've been moaning, we've been complaining, but we've been kind of watching it happen time after time. Every time Trump does anything, they immediately put courts up, right? And the courts stop it. It's appealed. Most of the time, we win. Can't win all the time, but here's the thing, and I think people fail to see this sometimes. Sometimes winning is not winning. Sometimes losing is actually winning. I know that's confusing for many, but when you can't go a specific path, it forces you to look for another. Unless you're somebody that gives up, and this is what we're finding with some people, or you're somebody that'll just sit there and criticize, you'll stand there at the fork in the road and just be pissed off that there's a fork in the road. Or you could be somebody else and actually make a choice and continue to bring the heat. These bad guys are losing. The ones that are actually being pushed out are fighting hard. So obviously if we move too many of them at a time, at least slow like we're doing now, and maybe this is going to help with the Brunson case. I'm kind of curious about that. But if they move what they're doing, if they try to destroy the country on the way out, it's it's pretty obvious. And these people, they got to go back to their communities. And I don't foresee that going well. And again, I don't wish ill on anybody. I think everybody should always be cool and chill. But that's not how reality works, it seems. Seems to be a lot of people out there a little unhinged. Which is an odd choice of words if you think about it, because, I mean, I guess it smacks against the thing. Is that what it is? I don't know, maybe. Right? Because unhinged just seems like it doesn't work properly. Malik Tillman makes a World Cup history with stunning penalty goal. Or penalty, as some say. I didn't realize we were still in it. I thought once we lost, I was pretty pissed, so I sort of stopped watching the World Cup. Again, I love soccer. I played soccer, but I work a lot. So, you know, people are like, you watching the games? I'm like, these are 90-minute games, people. No? Fuck. Anywho, here's Malik Tillman. Beautiful goal. I love what's beautiful about this is, so in a penalty kick, if it's outside the box and it's not a direct penalty, or they call it penalty kick when they do that. But when it's outside of that, when it's a penalty, and they kick the ball, you're allowed to put a line of people up. You don't necessarily always do a huge number, but typically 4 or 5, and you use it to try to help cut the angle off, so they can't take part of the goal, and then the goalkeeper can kind of cheat to one side. This dude chipped it over the wall, which is freaking awesome. Yeah, so check this out. This dude's that precise in his kicking, but I don't know why he chose the person that he kicked past, this guy, because it seems like if he would have kicked it, I don't know, over here instead of over here, the goalie wouldn't even been able to touch it. So in all honesty, I actually don't think it was a great kick. I mean, this is a super tall dude, and maybe he was using him as a shield. I don't know, because sometimes you can't, as a keeper, you can't see behind the really tall guy, so it does create a problem. So maybe he had an interesting angle. Again, I can't see it all. Whatever the case is, we won 2-0. This goal didn't even matter. I think there was a lot of people pissed off about a red card that was called. Red card means you're ejected from the game. Yellow card's like a very severe penalty. Typically, I think you get kicked for a few. Not long, but I think you've got to leave for a second and they can sub you back in. I don't remember exactly how yellow cards work. I never got carded, actually. I wasn't that big a dick. Someone got carded because of me, but I've never myself been carded, per se. Anywho, yeah, very fantastic stuff. We have 2 coronal mass ejections.
Good afternoon, folks. Brief update.
That are coming their way. They're not huge. They're slow-moving, but, we were talking about this, and I actually thought it looked like there was 2 to begin with. Needless to say, there might be even a third one. I'm not going to play a video I think he might mention that in here. We'll see. Anyway, this is pretty good stuff. Check it out. Space weather. What's it called? Space Weather News. There it is. Space Weather News.
Good afternoon, folks. Brief update. In addition to the X-Class solar flare and CME we went over in the morning show, there was another one, longer duration M-Class flare. We are going to run the GOES C core about 3 times here, and I have labeled the first and second CMEs. No need to wait for the endless spirals or anything else. That is 2 CMEs that have been launched at Earth. We will update this either later tonight or tomorrow, and of course we'll keep watching. Be safe, everyone.
Yeah, it was his morning show that this morning, he told us about a third one possibly. So we'll see. Again, all of them slow moving. Sony PlayStation deletes 551 movies people already paid for. I just wanted to use this for a moment to remind each and every one of you, for all you people out there that have ever been on any of the sites, any of them, PlayStation, Netflix, Prime, I don't know, wherever else you can buy videos and they'll keep it there for you, right? You just purchase it and then you stream it whenever you want to watch it. I can hear my younger brother in my ear right now. Oh, no, I just have everything on Apple Cloud. I don't know why you buy physical discs. Here's why. Because when the contracts end with the movie companies and Netflix, whoever, okay, there's contracts. They sign contracts for a period of time. You're allowed to have access to this video and share it and all that nonsense, right? That's what they do. And then at the end of the contract, they take the video away, the movie away. And if you're somebody that bought the movie, you never owned it, ever. You owned it as long as the contract existed, and it was probably in your EULA when you bought it, by the way, the licensing agreement. So PlayStation's one example of many. If you're going to buy a movie, highly recommend, if you want to own a movie, let's put it that way. If you want to be able to watch it 20 years from now, assuming you still got a DVD player that works or whatever, buy the disc. Buy it or burn it or however, create a physical copy, because you are not guaranteed eternal ownership of these movies. Just know that. I'm just saying, it's in the EULA. If you read it, you would know. No one reads it. None of us do. I don't either. I just know they fuck you. That's all. They put it right in your butthole. It's probably not appropriate, but whatever. Donald Trump doing something totally not like that. Fantabulous. He's took his maiden flight. We got a little bit of video of that. And I think I got some inside shots of his Air Force One, the new one, this Qatar gift. A brilliantly beautiful plane. And I am, I guess, 100% sure that the deep state, and this, I mean, let's blame McDonnell Douglas, but whatever. The deep state's heavily infiltrated in Boeing. This is, I think, why the Boeing jet has not been finished at this point. I understand that there's been numerous changes to the scope of the project, and that's what's caused all the delays, but the person telling me that's also got an insight from the company that's failing. So I don't actually think that's true. I actually just think they're intentionally trying to keep this away. The reason is the old Air Force One, the blue and white one, right? That one was bugged. That one was known. The deep state had all sorts of stuff stuffed in that one. That was why Trump, in his first term, was trying to get a new Air Force One, and they still wouldn't let him because the deep state doesn't want to let go of that control or the ability even to bring the plane down, which they can't do anymore. This is significant on many, many levels, and it's a gorgeous new plane, and it's way bigger, by the way, way bigger. I mean, reasonably way bigger. This is such a crazy good time to be alive. Guys, if you're not appreciating the game, if you're not appreciating playing and being a part of this, oh man, you're missing out. So some inside pictures. I don't know. I guess they've got massage chairs, Apple TV, gold fixtures. I don't know. Of course, they have all that stupid shit, whatever the case is. A lot of pictures. It's much wider. It's also got a much larger extended upper area, which is super fantastic. I don't know if the president gets to use a bunch of that space. I would hope so. Pilots typically take a small little chunk up in the front, so yeah, there's a lot of space up there for the president. Probably got a very nice... oddly, they have probably an executive bedroom, even though Trump, rarely sleeps. But apparently a bunch of people, Monica Crowley, she's very famous in the picture. But, it's just as gorgeous, I guess. Very, very nice. No longer, and he took his maiden flight recently, not just him coming out while it was in the hangar. But it's supposedly just very, very much better. This is a huge deal. This is... enormous. This plane one's got much more extended range than the original, which had a giant-ass range. Of course, it can be refueled in flight and all that good stuff, too. But the levels, the power structure that's on it, and who knows what other weird shit they've put on there. And part of the good thing, I guess, is Deep State doesn't really know. This was done pretty quickly. This was done by a new group, a new company. I forget the name of them. But they're new to the group. In fact, now they've got a new contract because of what they did with this. They've got a new contract to make drones or some weird thing. I forget again what it was. This goes back a little ways. But this is pretty impressive. It's a big deal. Northrop Grumman, cryptic online post, has a lot of people thinking that maybe they're going to be bringing the B-21 into the July 4th, for the 250th anniversary. We're going to be talking about that, of course, Saturday. It's a possibility I might try to figure out a way to stream some of that, because I'm sure Trump's going to have something cool going on, and it would be fun to be a part of that. So we're going to see. Saturdays are weird days for me, and now we're going to make it even weirder. So it's not fun. But anyways, if you guys see something pop up on my channel, you'll know. I'll maybe try to be more specific tomorrow. And by the way, music show tomorrow, totally July 4th oriented. Definitely 250th oriented. It's just a beautiful, beautiful set of songs. In fact, emotional, actually. There's the first segment, in my opinion, I teared up through a bunch of it. So I think you guys are going to feel moved as well. I did a pretty good job on this one. I gotta be honest. There's some great songs. There's some songs I've played before on 4th of July shows. But we got some great songs. It's going to be a fun show. So you want to be a part of that. It's, of course, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, Friday. Today I've got a live show, and we're going to be talking about some of the Supreme Court nonsense. What else are we talking about? I got a couple things while I'm on the subject. There it is. Let's see. Yeah, the MK Ultra stuff. We're going to spend a little time talking about some of that. And also the way the left is kind of really losing a lot more. Again, the media is making it sound like they're winning, but by no means are they. And so we're going to spend some time talking about that. So I got a fun show tonight that you hopefully will enjoy if you join us. This goes way back. What, it was like Roosevelt? Was he the one that was doing there's probably a bunch of them, right? Taft and shit. I don't know. I feel like there's a bunch of these guys way back in the olden days. They used to travel on train, which is a cool way to, to go city to city and get people to vote for you. Any city you were able to show up to, you were going to get the votes. A lot of the cities were dependent upon whether or not they had railways. Like, if you just think about the way the game was played early on, you played the cards you had, and that's who got you into office. But anyway, here's Trump, I guess, on this train coming in. It's a very short train, obviously, with 4 locomotives, which seems overkill. Or 3, sorry. And of course, BNSF stands for Bitch Not So Funny. It's not actually what it stands for. Most of you probably knew that, I hope. Really, Dan? I thought it stood for whatever the hell it stands for. Not that. I'd look it up, but I don't care. That's Trump's on this. This next video is gonna show that. But why did they have Why'd they have three? Like, it's got two. How far is this thing going? Trump's not going to stay on it that long. There's no way Trump's going to be on this thing while it travels 4,000, 3,000 miles, whatever the shit it is to get across the country. Here's Trump getting out of the back. I don't fucking know what's going on.
Yeah! Can you see that? Yeah, USA! 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 USA!
Dude, these guys, I love the way this worked. Did you guys notice that? Like, so Trump kind of gingerly comes down. These Secret Service people came out of like nowhere, immediately get up towards the crowds, and then the guy that hopped out of the stairs right after him, like Trump's like taking his, he doesn't want to fall. Obviously, that's all the shit we gave Biden, or the whatever Biden that was that did the falls. But then this guy right after him, watch this, funny again. Yippee skippy, man, that guy just came hauling ass down the stairs. There's nothing slowing him down, right? It's probably the one that's got the MP5 or whatever the hell, or whatever they're using nowadays. Something cool, I hope. Laser gun or some shit. Here's Trump talking about July 4th. It's going to be approximately 107 degrees. No, not 107. 17. The zero doesn't count as much as one wants to be everything. Anyways, here's Trump talking about that in a second as it loads.
And this week, we look back on 250 years of glorious freedom, and we took so much time and so much effort. And by the way, on July 4th, it's going to be approximately 107 degrees out. And I'm going to go and I'm going to make a really long speech just to show that I can do anything. It's going to be 107. But you know what? They also predicted the fight that we had 3 weeks ago was unbelievable at the White House. They said...
He was just about to say that they predicted it was going to rain and mess everything up for the fight, and yet it didn't. So part of me's wondering is, are things going to maybe be a little different than what they say? Like, wouldn't that be funny if all the meteorologists ended up being wrong? I think that would be probably one of the best things that could ever happen, is to just suddenly all the meteorologists are just wrong constantly. Like, hey, it's going to be 107 today, and it's like 85. They're like people are standing around wondering why you don't have your camera on, Dan. U.S. Air Force major arrested for illegally protesting on Capitol steps while calling for Trump's impeachment in uniform, and he was there with Rep. Al Green. He's literally in uniform. He's currently, I think, in the military, and he was bad-mouthing the commander-in-chief on the Capitol with Rep. Al Green. So this dude, without a doubt, is going to get court-martialed. I mean, there's a whole section here they talk about. UCMJ Article 88 states any commissioned officer who uses contemptuous words against the president, vice president, Congress, blah, 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 blah. It's a whole bunch of people. And so he's going to be in trouble. And he got arrested because he wouldn't leave when the Capitol Police said, hey, you're not allowed to protest here. There's a lot of places you're allowed to protest. Here, not one of them, meaning the steps. And he said no, so they arrested him. They didn't arrest him because he was being court-martialed. Nope. That'll come later. And I can't wait. I hope a federal judge stops it. I hope. I'm praying, please. Federal judge, stop this. Because I very much, personally, this is just me. This is like I'm watching the movie. I'm like, is this going to happen? Very much want to see a case that shows the difference between military law and actual civilian law. This dude don't get civilian law. We all know that. But we need a case to demonstrate that to everyone. This would be a bitchin' case for that. Sure would. We'll see what happens. And again, sorry that gentleman's given his time to our country and just failed. I don't know what to say. There's also this concept that you're not allowed to. It's like 9/11, man. It's the same people that are like, you can't give shit to people that are in the military. Yeah, you can. If someone's a dickhole or actually going against our country, it's no offense, guys, for any of you guys that are ex-military, but hell fucking yeah, we can. And we're going to. Okay? If you're fucking up, regardless if you bled for this country, if you're now deciding to shoot this country in the foot, I don't know what that means. I'm confused by that. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, but you certainly don't get a pass. That's something I'm going to I'll kick that shit all over the place. People love to do that. Try to manipulate people out of opinions. You're not allowed to have an opinion about this because blah. And fuck you. I'm allowed to have an opinion on anything. It doesn't matter either. My opinion's bullshit. I tell you guys that all the time. Well, not necessarily like that. So you shouldn't trust anybody, including myself. One crew member missing after a U.S. helicopter goes down in the Arabian Sea. It went down. It sounds like they brought it down in some sort of reasonable way, but somebody was lost, which implies that's maybe not quite how it played out. Like, it went down, but maybe something happened and maybe one of those people got shot and fell out or something weird, even though they're generally attached, I think. Anyway, it's an MH-60S Seahawk. All but the one individual seem to have been accounted for. So not cool. It is happening. We are a version of war. Donald Trump put this out, how the Republican Senate is not firing the parliamentarians. Like, why are we not getting rid of this person? They were appointed by radical left Senator Harry Reid, and Barack Hussein Obama is beyond me. She has been ruling unfairly against Republicans for years, and Majority Leader John Thune has the right to do it immediately. Fire the parliamentarian now. President Trump. Now, he can't when Trump says to. Just so you guys understand. There's a reason Trump does this. It is to highlight what needs to happen so we understand it. And then there's it's not going to happen because there's no way they could pull this off. I think they need votes, and they still don't have 50 votes to pull that off. They don't have 50 votes. Because you've got 5 Republicans right now. I think Trump is literally trying to get as many of these people on record as he can. And so these 5 are going to take the fall. Now, I think 2 of them are probably, maybe going to get reelected. We're going to talk about that a little bit tonight, too. I'll maybe mention it here coming up, but yeah, fire the damn parliamentarian. Trump DOJ files a lawsuit against California over the Glock ban. California's gun laws are out of control. It went into effect July 1st. It's literally already been filed. That's how that works. It's got to go into effect first. They can't file it early. And courts are stupid, and they just waste time. So, very good. They're basically trying to block guns. The way California does it is really weird. They're only allowed so many guns on the actual allowed gun list, and they're always looking for reasons to take the cool ones off. Let's just put it that way. Pete Hegseth, he says we've got to spend big on defense to save America's economic might. This to me implies the bigger picture. One, we don't necessarily want to be at war. We need a reason to expend on technology. That, I think, is what the moon stuff is really supposed to do. Ultimately, we need to ramp that up. Technology is what's going to get us, to the next place. I don't mean spiritually. I hope we're evolved enough to be responsible of the technology we're creating. I believe we are to a larger extent, especially there's a number of people like myself that are trying to help with that, and I think maybe, who knows, we'll be brought more into the fold when it matters. Not necessarily me, but people that are, who knows. U.S. manufacturing expanded for the 6th straight month, so this is good, right? We're expanding. We're building more and more stuff here. Again, this is a big deal. S&P 500 closes stronger than ever. We've also got a growing supply demand issue with copper. There is a larger and larger demand because of these growing data centers and everything else, and there is only so much copper that's coming out of the ground, so we've kind of reached a place where we're starting to outstrip our flow from the mines. Right? We're not mining quite enough to support what we need. This is going to create heightened prices, which heightened prices make mining for more easier, more affordable. So this is part of the game. This is happening with gold and silver. Right now, gold and silver are so cheap, they wouldn't mind for it at all. This is part of what they want to do. But when that starts to change, dude, Nevada, they're going to be mining like crazy. So a lot of infrastructure, a lot of jobs, a lot of stuff is going to be happening in this country because it has to. And we can't rely on other countries to have our backs. That much is true. So here we are, at least Dow, we're live-ish. It's 12:11 right now. All right, 331. So Dow's up 60.64%. S&P was up earlier today, but it's down a teeny bit, not much. NASDAQ down a little bit. What's kind of weird, well, gold's up, silver's up. That's kind of weird. Oil's down. And I say weird only in that it seems like it's so arbitrary how it's been going down, but it's just bizarre. Oil is down more, a little bit, but still in the downward direction. It was way down earlier, and then it had a little bit of a, they're trying to, this is the deep state trying desperately to get the Iran thing to happen. They wanted to do this before the election. Trump fucked that up. That's why he's always said, and so we decided to take a detour. We know we could take this hit now. Gas prices are notoriously high this time of year anyways, so Trump was brilliant to do it now. And the deep state just, I don't know, didn't see it coming or whatever. But they're all about trying to fuck with the election. Trump's all about taking away their cards, their Trump cards. If anyone's going to have a Trump card, it's going to be Trump. So what is also weird is the Kospi, and this is the Korean stock exchange. They were down another 7.89% today. The poor guys, they have had numerous huge down days. They've done the 9.99%, 10% down a couple times. And here we are with another 8% down day. So South Korea's, they're going through a transition. So be good in the big picture, but in the current times, it's interesting. And so, again, these are people that are helping us build ships, by the way. They're helping us build submarines and ships, them and Australia. So South Korea, we've invested in very heavily. This is an economy that we're, I think, trying to help. And, of course, silver was up, and I think it's possibly still up. We'll see. It might take forever. All said, guys, if you have a 401k or an IRA, I think you should get out of the system. You should liquidate as much as you can now. Yeah, silver's up a little bit. They are going to make it more difficult to liquidate. Also, as the prices of gold and silver go up, you're going to lose that benefit. And also, it's the buying power we're talking about. Inflation is something that has not gone away. There's a lot of discussions about it. And the way that Warsh is handling things, I think I'm talking about that a teeny bit tonight too. The way that Warsh is handling it, he's not telling the stock market anymore to like, hey, be confident, we got your back no matter what. He's like, no, actually, we're not sure what we're going to do if something happens. And so now the stock market's starting to go, oh no. If something happens, we don't necessarily get bailed out by the American taxpayer. That is going away. The deep state's going to try to do something stupid, but they're not going to get the free money that they need. They're broke. And it's going to become more and more apparent. Week by week, really, but month by month. As payroll and stuff like that starts to bounce, it's going to happen. You're going to see Europe falling. You're going to see all these little weird non-government organizations falling. You're going to see things like UN collapsing. You're going to see this weird kind of implosion. How that affects the larger picture is a giant question mark. I and many believe, this is again confirmation bias, maybe I'm wrong, guys, but I definitely believe the Fed's supposed to go. It's the third Fed. Trump loves Jackson. He kicked out the second Fed. I actually think that's gonna happen. It's not that I need it to or want it to. I think it's gonna happen. When it does, that's gonna create a bit of a problem. Whereas we start heading to where it can, that's where the problem is. DRSlikesgold.com. DRSlikesgold.com. If you got a 401k, if you got an IRA, liquidate while you can. Protect the buying power. As I've said many, many times, I'll try to make it quick. I apologize. Right? This gold coin cost $30, $33, back in 1915. Back then, I could buy a handmade tailored suit with both of these. Today, this still buys me a handmade tailored suit. It costs about $4,100 and something now. This is $30. This doesn't buy me shit. This is dinner at Taco Bell. Buying power. Your stock is based off of dollars. Your dollars are becoming worth less, or hence the word worthless. Go to drslikesgold.com, drslikesgold.com, up to 10% free gold and silver for whatever you're moving along. $250,000 you're moving over. Here's what happens. First off, that's buying power. That's probably a house. You're going to protect the ability to buy a house. If that house costs $500,000 in 3 years, that's what gold's going to be worth. If that house costs $125,000 to buy in 3 years, that's what the value of gold's going to be. You will be able to buy whatever you can right this second with that value. You don't get 1915 value, and you don't get the value after the point when you finally purchase it. You get it at the second you finally accrue it. So whatever the prices are, whatever things are, wherever inflation is, you're locked in at that point. This is why waiting is not necessarily a benefit. Ooh, the stock market might go a little higher. You're right. Price of gold and silver might go up a little bit too. Again, it's all relative. Buying power. Protected. Do it tax-free, penalty-free. If it's a 401k and IRA, it's pre-tax money. Don't touch it. If you have to, this is not necessarily the right way to go for you. It's really not. You're going to get hosed, and it's not because of Gold Code. Gold Code make it as easy as possible for you to get hosed if you want, but the hosing is going to happen outside of them or with them. Doesn't matter. If you're going to take money or touch the 401k IRA prior, if you're going to touch it early, yeah, you're going to get hosed. However you do it. Talk to Fidelity, be like, I want to cash out, and watch what happens. Talk to BlackRock, say, I want to cash out, watch what happens. Goldco will help you do as much as they can, but better if you can let it sit for a year to 3. Tax-free, penalty-free, up to 10% free gold and silver. You can do either or both. And if you've got an actual qualified plan and you put in your data points, a little pop-up's going to happen. If you make the phone call in 20 minutes, ask about 5 grams of free silver, and you're going to be amazed. Go to drslikesgold.com, drslikesgold.com. Seriously, get out of that system, guys, please. It's not much. I mean, again, I don't know. It's going to be after probably the midterms, but what kind of shit are they going to do prior is the question. That's all, man. Mitch McConnell, apparently a month ago when we thought he had the flu, yeah, he was actually found unconscious in his home. So, yeah, whatever is happening with his health is not good. Mitch is, right now, is auto-penned. Let's just call that. I think a lot of what's been happening with Mitch has been auto-pen lately. And Mitch McConnell, his auto-pen might be expiring. Again, to his family, I wish you the best. Your person is probably not going to be around much longer, or is most likely being delayed telling us. Yeah, not good. Folks, here's something powerful. So this communist movement's huge. And a lot of us are scared. They're like, oh, they're taking over. And really, I think a lot of people are. At least I see a lot of people. I don't mean you guys. I don't know. I mean, some of you guys probably are. But I think most of you guys are probably like, nah, that's bullshit. I hope. As I've raised you well, if that's where we're at. But Democrats, they're trying to gaslight Americans, but Americans are, well, they're not being gaslit as easy as they used to. Tori, good call on this one. You did good. Check this out. I actually got to shake her hand once, too. I don't know. She'll never remember me, but anyway, I remember it.
In recognizing a communist, physical appearance counts for nothing. If he openly declares himself to be a communist, we take his word for it.
I'm a democratic socialist.
You call yourself a democratic socialist?
I'm a democratic socialist. Mamdani is a self-described socialist.
I am a democratic socialist.
Claire Valdez, this is a candidate, again, aligned with the Democratic Socialists of America.
I'm a proud democratic socialist.
I identify as a democratic socialist, but I'm running as a Democrat. We will replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism. We will prove that there is no problem too large for government to solve and no concern too small for it to care about.
If a person consistently reads and advocates the views expressed in a communist publication, he may be a communist.
Social media posts from Teresa Avila Chevalier's old X account, including favorable references to communism, Marxist ideology, and authoritarian communist figures.
As Eugene Debs once said,
If a person supports organizations which reflect communist teachings, she may be a communist.
I've been a member of New York City DSA for 7 years.
Feed the rich and feed the poor. This is class war.
If a person defends the activities of communist nations while consistently attacking the domestic and foreign policy of the United States, she may be a communist.
Cuba has a remarkable public health system.
We remember Fidel Castro, whose legacy is complex.
Sort of the opposite of what the United States has.
You know, when Fidel Castro came into office, you know what he did? He had a massive literacy program. Is that a bad thing?
There's a lot of dissidents imprisoned in Cuba.
That's right.
The actions and U.S. contributions to the suffering of Cubans.
This particular bullying and the use of sanctions.
Like other U.S. policies, the cruelty is the point.
It does not help the people of countries like Venezuela.
Do you believe that the 9/11 terrorist attacks on America were the inevitable consequence of American foreign policy?
Inevitable in the sense that we destabilized a lot of the Middle East, that forced people to believe that another act of violence was the only response.
Social media post from Daria Lisa Avila Chevalier. One calls the United States an effing disgrace.
If a person does all these things over a period of time, he must be a communist.
I mean, our goal is liberation. Our goal is communism.
How many times did Brett Burr have to say that name? Good God, there's no way. That's brutal. We are in an interesting place. I found just another point that kind of hit me. I'll just mention the quick note on it. I'll probably talk more about this tonight, too. It's a good note. But the key is right now, so if you're a content creator, I don't do this, by the way. Don't do as I do. But here's, if you want to be more successful, from the standpoint of, for the normie, okay? If you're trying to reach the normie, make it sound like they're being heard. Make it feel like their voice has gotten to you and you're hearing it. And if you can do that, they're going to actually just buy into you hook, line, and sinker. Now, it doesn't mean they're going to wake up. They're still going to be asleep. But you might have them, stuck in your cleavage site, if you will, like that TWC. We're going to talk about that coming up later. State capital in Ohio, Columbus City, is flying the Somali flag ahead of the 250th anniversary. Anybody in Ohio, y'all need to be making some noise on this. I don't want you to do anything illegal, but you should be, choose my terms, sending mass amounts of emails and communications and phone calls and whatever the shits to all politicians in Ohio. This is unacceptable. This is the 250th anniversary of the United States, and fucking Somalia is not part of it. Don't use the fucking part. You might want to leave that out. Unless it seems germane. You're talking about a Somalian flag having sex with another flag. Sometimes flag fucking happens. So, I mean, again, it depends how you phrase everything. Stephen Miller wants to make it clear that this temporary protected status nonsense is, well, nonsense and should never have happened.
But it was temporary. It was supposed to be temporary. She knew it was temporary. What did Biden do, the Biden administration do, in its last year in office, Stephen?
Well, so, first of all, there you see that throwback from Janet Napolitano, who said there's an earthquake in Haiti, which, by the way, it's total BS that we have TPS for earthquakes, but put that aside. There's an earthquake in Haiti, so she's announcing TPS for a few months while they're recovering from an earthquake. That was in 2010, 15 years ago. Then the Biden administration, in its last year, extends TPS to every single illegal alien from Haiti while they are flying them en masse into Springfield, Ohio, across the Midwest. It was a formal policy of replacing the communities that lived in, settled, and sustained these communities for generations. It was one of the most heinous things this government has ever done. And yes, under President Trump, let me be very clear, The illegal alien Haitians are going back to Haiti. They can build their country there.
If you think about it, too, earthquake happens, then all of a sudden they start having all this crime, right? Because the Contras and whatever's, right, start taking over everything. Rather than, like what Trump would do, send in the Marines, bring order, at least find established places where you could maintain order and friggin' mow down anybody that tries to step on that. But no. They make TPS status. They bring as many Contras people as possible into this country. And things got worse and worse in Haiti, making TPS more and more needed. You see, they create the problem for a reason. Sometimes they create the problem because they want to tax us for the solution. Sometimes they create the problem because they actually want to damage us with it. Sometimes they create a problem for, I don't know, NGOs and everything. I mean, make money, I guess. Illegal alien monster repeatedly raped 10-year-old child in Minnesota. Tim Walz just issued a pardon to shield him from deportation. Don't need specifics, but federal court uphold state law criminalizing illegal immigration. A new Tennessee law making illegal immigration a state crime is taking effect. They tried to stop it. That didn't happen either. DOJ, they're charging 8 Tren de Aragua members in murder and kidnapping cases. These mofos are toast. And again, they're taking down the worst of the worst. We're moving in the right direction. I don't know if there's actually... let's listen to it.
The father in Texas should be alive today. His daughter and nephew should have never been kidnapped. The young victim in Chicago should be alive. These violent crimes and murders happened because under the Biden administration, open border policies left our borders wide open. And hundreds of suspected and now convicted TDA terrorists poured through those borders into our country. Now, President Trump stopped this madness on January 20th of last year. That same day, President Trump designated TDA as a foreign terrorist organization. In the 18 months since January 20th, and President Trump did that, nearly 350 members and associates of TDA have been charged and or convicted of horrific violent crime, murders, sex trafficking, kidnappings, along with weapons charges, drug trafficking, robbery, ATM jackpotting, and other widespread financial crimes. Law enforcement in this great nation have worked overtime to find these terrorists, build these cases, and bring them to justice. TDA members who entered under the previous administration should have never set foot on our shores. Much of the work that I just described today was carried out by Joint Task Force Vulcan, which we built to eradicate MS-13 and expanded to take on TDA. Also, the work has been done by our Homeland Security Task Forces, HSTF, established by President Trump to dismantle the cartels and transnational criminal organizations. This is very dangerous law enforcement work. It requires an all-government, all-law enforcement approach. Today, I'm joined by 2 of our United States attorneys from Texas and Illinois, and you'll hear the details from them in a moment about the two charging instruments that I just described. You'll also hear from our FBI Director, Kash Patel. I also want to thank the folks from Task Force Vulcan, our FBI agents on the ground, and our partners at Homeland Security Investigations. All of them, all their work on the ground is the reason why we're here today.
Yeah, kicking ass is what we're doing. DOJ charges another migrant for voting illegally in federal elections. So we got this from the 2022 elections. Again, what this does is it freaks others out because this is going to get people deported. And the fear that we're presenting, this is a big ripple thing. We need this to go wide, and however you do it, just include this concept into stuff. And that is, if you're illegal and you vote in a federal election, that's against the law, and I guarantee you're getting deported. If you don't want to be deported and you want to stay under the radar, don't vote. Or at least vote at your own risk. Scare them from going into the centers. We don't need to put ICE in the centers, even though I don't think that's legal. Marine or National Guard could be around them. Again, who knows how this plays out? I'm very curious. I am definitely preparing for the worst, and I right now it feels like it's going to be the next election. Not this one, but the next. We'll see, though. Trump's going to be out campaigning, so I think, again, what that makes me believe is we're going to try to do this the right way and see if we can overwhelm the system. If we can overwhelm the system, we already got some of the right people in for the primaries. That makes a huge difference because now we've actually got legitimate MAGA, real Americans that are in Congress rather than the shit ones we have right now. Now all of a sudden we have a chance to make a change because the numbers start to change. Again, then all of a sudden the Trumpet brothers, their case doesn't necessarily matter anymore, and certainly the people that they've listed are many Congresses ago. So the Brunson brothers' case is probably never going to come to fruition, but it kind of stood as a backstop almost. Not that it would ever have been able to, again, be official backstop, but from a legal standpoint, it's conceptually, it was a backstop. DHS, I got 10,000 illegals this week. They've been busy. ICE arrested 30-plus people at Alabama factory for ID fraud. So, again, a lot of busy's been happening. Supreme Court Justice Thomas says his birthright citizenship rule devalues the U.S. citizenship. He had a couple cool quotes. He says, I am not sure that today's opinion will stand the test of time. The citizenship clause added greatly to the dignity and glory of American citizenship. Today's opinion devalues that citizenship. 100% right. And it probably will not stand the test of time. And here's the problem. Here's somebody that was born in America. Now, you're not going to understand any damn thing she says. Well, some of you will, because some of you speak Spanish. Some of you are habla español. But this lady was born in another country and is claiming allegiance to that country first, then America second. And this is where I think the argument where a lot of people are like, you should not have dual citizenship per se. Or at least you should acknowledge your primary citizenship. Because, I mean, again, I just thought of the situation with the GF, right? And she's like, she kind of wants to maintain dual citizenship. There's a benefit for her to, this just started. She just got her citizenship back. So she just recently became a dual citizenship. But she's an American first, unquestionably. And she would fucking give up her citizenship to the Philippines in a heartbeat. But damn, she's got a house there now. She's got, I mean, there's some things that are kind of working in the right direction for her in that big picture. So we'll see. We'll see what the right approach is. All that said, I'm not the one to decide that. Thank friggin' God. Why was I was just scrolling down. Cool. Nearly 1/3 of Dems prefer leaders who identify as democratic socialists. 1/3 of Democrats. Democrats don't represent a majority anymore. So 1/3 of that minority, so say you got 100 people. Well, let's say the minority is 45. I'll be generous. I think it's lower than that. But say it's 45. That's the minority. So 45. Nearly 1/3 of 45 people. So 1/3 of 45 people is that like roughly 15? Yeah, pretty close actually. In fact, exactly. Good job, Dan. So 1/3 of 45 is 15 people want communism. 15 out of 100. That's not that much. I've been saying 10 to 20%. There you go. Booyah. It's not that many. We are, this is the thing that's meant to scare the Democrats to either A, take control of their party, or B, watch their party go just careening into a building or what is it, like the Roadrunner, right into a tunnel, right into a brick wall. And just step out at least. At least don't be stupid and stay on it, because if you stay on the train, you're going to go down with it. 17% even. How funny. I love when they use that all the time. It's fantastic. Bill Maher, Democrats are well on their way to blowing the 2028 election. He's not wrong. And again, I don't want to give him too much credit, but this was not bad. Hopefully I can fix the audio. It seemed sucky when I first listened to it.
The Democrats just elected 3 very far left Democratic socialists in New York who are crazy. Like outright really crazy. So, like, how are they going to blow it? I don't know, but they seem to be well on their way. Okay.
He's right. They're well on their way. Gay comedian, this is pretty funny. He's gay. Some of you guys might be offended by that. Hopefully not, but Tim Dillon roasts corporate virtue signaling. He's basically like making fun of the people that are pandering to him as a group. Again, I think the gays own this shit. There's been gay people for so damn long. I think most people are kind of cool with it as long as you don't like, as long as you don't like, yeah, you get it. But, yeah, it's pretty funny. I like it. You guys know my background's theater and shit like that. So anyway, I appreciate this stuff. I think it's funny as hell. Check it out.
Everyone I grew up with and the generation directly under me, they're all institutionalists. They believe very strongly that knowledge is given through an approved, whether you're at NYU or whether it's the State Department or whether it's a board or whether it's a nonprofit that commissioned a study that proved the thing. A lot of these kids do not think for themselves. They do, and they're not kids. They're in their 30s, by the way. And they're in their 30s or 40s. They don't think for themselves. They've been taught that thinking for themselves is bad. It's racist, or it can lead you down a road that you don't want to go on. It's, whatever. It's misogynist. It's homophobic. Like, whatever questions you're asking, like, why do the Padres have to wear gay uniforms? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, as a gay person, I never said why I need the Padres to be gay. Why are the Padres gay?
What does the Padres uniform look like?
They're making them wear like gay things on the uniform.
Like pride stuff?
It's like pride stuff. I don't think it's like a dildo on their head, but I think it's like pride stuff.
What happens when they play in Dearborn?
It's not gonna go well. But it's like, why is Citibank gay? Why is Chase gay? What is it? Why does this help anyone that a corporation is trans? Why is Chobani Yogurt trans? What's the point of this? I don't understand. Does this get people health care? Does this make people happy? Does this satisfy?
It makes some people happy.
It makes some people happy that I worry about because I just don't understand. And it makes more people angry. And that's why gay marriage has lost 11 points in support. More people are annoyed. They're like, we're all cool with however people want to live their lives. Most people are. But they're like, why is my bank gay? When did my bank come out as gay? And like, I'm okay with it, but could somebody have told me, like, what are we doing? This doesn't make anybody's life better. It is just virtue signaling horseshit that ends up doing the exact opposite of what they want. They think it increases acceptance. It decreases it because you're shoving a worldview down someone's throat.
Who knows if we went down the wrong path with that one, right? When you think about shoving something down someone's throat. But I'm pretty sure this is a bit, because the way Rogan started laughing at it, it was a bit, and it just felt like this guy was basically doing this bit. And then as Joe Rogan laughed, you could feel him kind of like, all right, I'll run with this. So he ran with it, which is good, because that's how you work through material, by the way. Anyway, I'm not an expert. By the way, my sister, she's actually stand-up comic. She's actually very funny. She's the funny one in the family. I'm sort of in the middle. We've done improv together and stuff. I can kind of hold my own with her, but she's more disciplined when it comes to writing jokes. I'm more into the improv stuff. I like just, fuck it, let's just do this live. I don't want to fucking spend a lot of time on it. I got better shit to do. So it's funny. We're very similar, but very, very different. It's fantastic. She's also a little more liberal, but we never talk about politics. I love my sister. She's the best in the world. A-list Hollywood exodus ramp up as Dennis Quaid lists L.A. mansion, and he's set to make huge loss. People are bailing from L.A., man. I'm telling you. Exodus. This is going to be awesome. And again, like, cool. Good for you. You get to buy a house that's worth, well, they say worth $5.2 million. Yeah, you get to buy it for $2 million. You watch. Your association dues, by the way, the HOA dues, I wish they would list them for a $5.2 million house in a secluded area that's probably cool for A-listers. Oh, fuck, that's got to be in the, what, $2,000-$3,000 a month range? It's got to be. So even if you get a home and your mortgage is, I don't know, $8,000-$10,000, whatever the shit, you still got to pay an association due. And if you don't pay it 3 months, they can take your house. Oh, it's amazing. So yeah, no one's going to, I don't know if anyone's going to be able to buy it. And again, I like Dennis Quaid. He's done some good movies. And he's stayed out of politics, or at least I think he's maybe conservative. Either or. TWC, guys. They got a great 4th of July special going on. 20% off. Take advantage of it. Ultimate Spike Detox. Ivermectin. This is the one that is the Parasite Cleanse. They've got that one going on. All you got to do is go to Shop or even Bestsellers. Both of these. Bestsellers is going to get you to a lot of that stuff if you're looking for some of the big stuff. Terzipatide. What is that? Weights? I forget what that one is. I don't know if it's Terzipatide. Terzepatide. First off, it's a peptide, obviously, based off the name, but it's weight loss. Okay, yeah, they got a lot of weight loss stuff over here. Again, you guys know I'm very fond of the one I'm fond of, but this is kind of, in some ways, a very effective prescription way to go. They've got these things. They've got telemed. They've got talk to a doctor, sure. And if you're going to be doing month after month like this, for example, to get your membership, check it out. The membership's actually, I don't think it's that much. I think it's like $9 maybe, or even less maybe. But you get like free shipping and you get a discount on all the stuff you're getting. So you way get your money back. It's just, I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know what the benefit of having a membership is. I'm sure they benefit from it in some weird way, or it's like a guarantee, or I don't know. I don't know what it is. There's some weird thing that they find. So whatever the case is, you're benefiting from it in a big way. If you're doing anything month to month with them, get the membership. Look into the membership. It's 15% off. You're going to save money too. It's stupid. It's stupid not to. I hate to say it. Now, I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm just saying I'm stupid. And it would be stupid not to. So, thinking to myself out loud. That's what I'm doing. Medical emergency kit's fantastic. This is the one that's got the tick dioxycycline. That one, whatever the shit that one is. That one, that's supposed to help with ticks. Doxycycline, I think. Man, it's in there. I don't want to click on it. Contagion kit, that's got all the antiviral stuff. HCQ, it's got the ivermectin, and it's got the generic Tamiflu. There you go. Take all that shit. That said, twc.health/OTF. twc.health/OTF. We've got this 4th of July special going on, and you do not want to miss out on that. 20% on top of medical kits, supplements, prescriptions, all this good stuff. Hit it up, twc.health/OTF. You are going to help keep yourself healthy, and that's really what it's all about. Trump is declining to renew the USMCA agreement with Canada and Mexico. He's like, no, we're going to go to this kind of like, not month by month. I think it's year by year or whatever, maybe quarter by quarter. I don't know. They get to renegotiate in a little more frequent basis. And he wrote it up that way on purpose. The way it's kind of being spun, especially in National Pulse bastards, is that Trump somehow failed in his original agreement. But nah, it was meant to last as long as it was meant to last. It came back up, and he knew he would renegotiate. He always knew that. He was just trying to get the thing sold for the moment. And yeah, now that they're in need, now that they're used to, well, now you negotiate. And again, Trump's method generally is, ask for the extreme and then pull it back a hair. And then you're like totally cool with pulled back because the extreme was ridiculous. So you're like, all right, yeah, I'll shave my whole body instead of what you were just saying, right? Many of you are like, what did he just say? Can't tell you. U.S. should exit the UN. I'm not going to tell them anyways. I don't care if it's legally okay. That's not, no. U.S. should exit the UN. I think so. I'd be kind of curious to see what happens with the UN and all the bullshit that's going on with them. Executive Order 14199 directed the U.S. to withdraw from 31 different UN organizations. It would take an act of Congress to get us the F out of the UN. This will come after the elections. Again, this is why I wonder if the big damn deal is going to be the election either A, after for president, whoever that is, or, yeah, there's going to be something else anyway where Trump just becomes president of the world or something stupid. And somehow gets voted in, too. He's like, I won every country. I won 187 countries. Bob, in the belt weather countries. Like, I don't know. It'll be annoying probably a little bit. I love Trump. I love you, Trump. Sorry if you're actually watching this. But when you do that, I know. Your greatness is freaking awesome. But I'm not good at that. I'm not good at just be like, Dan's the greatest. You know what? You should think I'm the best. By the way, you should thumbs up, by the way. I guess I am doing that right now. Thumbs up, please. There you go. And I can subscribe if you haven't done that, please. Good Lord. And follow me on Twitter or X, probably the best one, at OTF with DRS, at OTF with DRS. Yeah, follow me over there. It's a good place. I actually generally look at comments there. I always look at comments there. And I comment back often. There you go. Huge scandal breaking out in Spain. 400,000 refugees are claiming refugee status that never lived in the country. This is supposed to be for people that were already there. And we've already got people that are messing with it. So this 1.2 million people that initially Spain was thinking, which was going to break them anyways, but they were willing to do that, that number's going to get a lot higher. A lot higher. Bye-bye, España. It was so very nice to know you. Iran was minutes from launching hell on Europe. I think this is a pretty good little thing. Let's check this out, if I remember correctly. Yeah, listen to this. This is good. Check it out.
Our intelligence. Here's what our intelligence showed. And I've seen it. It's classified, but I've seen it. Mm-hmm. But I can give you a general outline. Our intelligence showed that Iran was building up its missile capacity, both ballistic and cruise. And they were going to compile so many missiles and drones that they were going to turn to America and Israel and say, we're restarting our nuclear weapons program. And if you try to stop us, we're going to destroy the rest of the Middle East. And by the way, our missiles can now reach London and Paris and Germany.
And
Berlin.
You saw reports that
I've
said
seen
that?
the intelligence.
Okay.
And President Trump was faced, well, do I let them continue? He had already bombed some of their nuclear facilities. Yeah. But he was faced with the decision, do I let them get to the point where they have so many missiles and drones, ballistic and cruise, that they could destroy the Middle East, that they could hit London, that they might even be able to hit the United States, or do I go in to stop them? And he did.
He did. Big time. Now, again, they're fighting him. They're saying he didn't accomplish what he said he accomplished, but meh. Vance is warning U.S. has options as Iran rejects direct talks. They're saying, Trump's saying everything's moving along. We're getting information that they're not moving along, which would imply kind of to me that the IRGC is still giving information to the deep state. And because of that, deep state is still continuing to report fallacies. Now, it's probably intentional. I'm just trying to be friendly with the thoughts about it, if you will. Ukrainian, group of 7, I think I was, the saboteurs. One Ukrainian and some other helpers have been identified and have been accused because of some grand jury thing or whatever. So I don't know if this is germane. This is kind of one thing that's funny. So Ukraine has been blamed for blowing up the Nord Stream, which has really fucked over Germany hard. If it was a Ukrainian, that really doesn't bode well for continuing the war, continuing support. So that would be interesting. Quote, Russia could be behind that. And it takes it in a direction that, I don't know, they were blaming Russia on it. No matter what, it takes it away from that. So I mean, I think Ukraine was behind it, frankly. And I think you've got Poland that's pissed off at Ukraine right now. You've got Russia, or I'm sorry, well, Russia, obviously. Germany, pissed off at them right now. Gasoline shortages happening in Russia. Obviously, this war's not helping them. This is the weirdest picture ever. I hope I can blow it up. Then I maybe can zoom in. I don't understand this picture at all. First off, gas station looks weirdly small, but that's cool. That's cool. Seriously, I would highly recommend you guys put a car wash in over here. Just saying. Probably not a big deal in Russia, but it would make it look more like a California car wash or California gas station. But there's 2 lanes? Really? And I assume they got 2 pumps. What, you get one and they get the other? Or are you allowed to hit both sides? Or I'm not sure how that works. But wow, kind of small gas station. And they're, I guess, short on fuel. And then again, my other question was, what the fuck? Like, you would think, is this a thing where dogs can pee or poop? But it seems cordoned off. You like that word? It seems like it's fenced. And I don't know what the fuck this bunker entrance is. What is this? Is this where you go down to the nuclear silo? Like, is this how they do it in Russia? They're like, no, this is where we go. We just hop the fence when we go down into work. Such a bad Russian accent, but whatever. Who cares? Doesn't matter. U.S. B-2 bombers, they showcased the ability to launch this new stealth anti-ship missile. Not only did we demonstrate our abilities to launch this stealth anti-ship missile, the LRASM, or the... I don't know how they say that, frankly. But it's an air-to-surface missile. It's an LR. It's long-range air-to-surface missile. And I don't know what they call it. LRASM? Probably. I don't know. They have a cool name. They just say shit like how it sounds. AGM-158C, long-range anti-ship missile. Stealth, though. Shot from a stealth plane, which normally doesn't target moving targets. I think that is kind of what the big thing is in this particular story. The fact that it's able to drop a weapon is, okay, cool. The fact that we have stealth missiles, also cool, right? So anyway, we did this over by the Philippines, which means we did it right in front of China. Basically said, hey, China, fuck you. What's your best boat? Oh, your aircraft carriers? How long do you think those will survive? Especially now, because China is kind of embarrassed a little bit. Most of their stuff didn't work properly when we've gone into Venezuela, and I think we've probably fucked around with some stuff in other places like Iran, for example. Their equipment did not hold up to muster. We kicked its ass. So China got beaten in Iran. China's gotten beaten in Venezuela. China does not have the capabilities. They can build mass quantities of bullshit. We got 500,000 balsa wood gliders coming at us. Oh, no! Balsa wood, man. Just smack at it when it gets near you. Just move aside. You just cut it. Cut it. So anyway, we got some cool shit. Executive orders, 3 reactors achieved criticality before July 4th. This is the big part of the energy thing that we've been pushing for. A lot of people keep pointing out, especially Zero Hedge, so it's kind of interesting. They're being kind this time. But generally speaking, that China's building more power than us. They're building data centers. They're going to win the race. And then over here, we're like fighting data centers with all of our might for all sorts of reasons. So we've got China attacking us and doing a very good job. From an information standpoint, China is excellent. Data centers and power are probably going to be the keys to future because a lot of the AI stuff is going to require insanely large computers. And if you think about a data center, it's a giant computer. That's a good way to look at it. So we need them. So we can compute and do a lot of crazy stuff simultaneously because there's going to be millions of people that are going to be requiring immediate access. There's going to be automated cars. There's going to be automated ships. There's going to be automated factories. There's going to be all sorts of automated stuff. This needs to run. And when these machines break down or suddenly power stops for whatever reason, then the standstill. Oh, it's going to be incredible. So we've got a lot of interesting things happening. Needless to say, we're moving forward with power, new waves of power. One's a sodium reactor, another one's, there's a couple of new technologies. It's pretty cool. This is not the micro stuff. These are more of the macro. These are the bigger guys. but still very cool stuff. Newer technology. There's a lot of companies that were kind of in a race to finish all this before we hit July 4th. Only 3 made it. They tried, but more will come. More will come. So the world's changing. A lot happening. I got a good show coming up here in a little bit, so I want to get all this edited and uploaded. But I love you guys. And again, check out my show, Hot Topics, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, and you will be enjoyed. It's fun. I just try to dig in a little deeper. Sometimes I get people involved on the show. Sometimes, I don't know, it's a little more, I'm allowed to cover whatever I want to. It gives me a chance to get it heavier into some weird stuff without pissing you guys off over on this particular video. I love you guys. Where we go one week, go all. It's on the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle.